welcome back to the From HarveyWorld Love podcast. I am your host, HarveyWorld Drizzy. And today we got us a special reaction. Today we're going to be reacting to our boys Eli, Ace, and Drew over at the Daily Wrap-Up crew. They got powerful content over there. Those guys really take the business serious, as evident by the studio that they have. I'm really digging the setup. Shout out to you guys. They on their way to 100K. I believe they're at around 98K right now. So go help them guys out. Run over there, get them a subscribe. But before you do that, like and subscribe here. It would be greatly appreciated. So like I said, I'm gonna try to be more I'm not gonna try to be, I'm going to be more consistent. And so with these reaction videos, the Daily Wrap-Up crew, they got a lot of good content. I personally believe they are like, if they are Mario, they Super Mario, then Fresh and Fit is Wario. They seem to actually be trying to get had a conversation. They actually do listen to the females on and give them a chance to embarrass themselves. Not similar to the way Fresh and Fit does it, but they got their own little swag to it. I like it. You guys go over there and check it out. If you like this content, you'll like that content, I believe. But without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. So what's the question? The question that we're gonna be reviewing from them is, do women ever take accountability for their bad decisions, their bad choices in men? And I seem to think that it seems to, in my eyes, my own anecdotal experience, that they never take accountability for these bums that they deal with, which is evident by these females here. Typical, you know, they in the New York area. These are young girls, young birds, if you will. But without further ado, you know, I'm gonna let them go ahead and they can explain this to you. What did I care? Here we go.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So with that being said, this is just random because you told me that your baby father was a trapper, right? Or, quote unquote, right?
No. Before they get into it, yeah, right, the baby daddy was a trapper. I know y'all see the studio. The studio is fire. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it ain't, you know, but the studio is immaculate. I like it. I like it a lot. But like you said, like you already see, her baby daddy's a trapper.
I hate hearing women. Matter of fact, do women ever take accountability for their bad choices in men?
Yes. I love scammers, and that's my fault. That's why my heart always been broke.
I blame it on my youth.
It's my
I'm
fault.
like, I was young.
Yeah.
Young, experienced.
I'm still young.
So you still like the scammers?
They love to blame that shit on being young and dumb. Ma'am, you were not young and dumb. You was hot and ready. Little Caesars, that's the problem. Fucking put some ice on that thing. Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I've dated both a scammer and a 9-to-5.
I mean,
so do you guys go in there with the intent thinking you guys could change him and make him
no.
Of course they do.
So why the hell you mad when
wanna
you find out he piping that?
I feel like because
Who's
I
mad?
feel like whether
Who's
it's a
mad?
man or a woman, they have a way of making you feel like you're the only
Yeah.
one. So it's like sometimes you would, just because a nigga ain't shit to other women doesn't mean he's not gonna be shit.
I
for
can
you.
change him.
Yeah.
Just because he ain't shit for other women don't mean he ain't shit for you. That's how you end up with Future as your baby daddy. When you hear Notorious, like London on the Track, right? He's another one, right? Like, she heard Summer Walker. She knew he had other baby mamas that were complaining about this man being absent and him being a Pookie-esque character in their life. And she still thought, because women are taught that they're special, that they're little snowflakes, and they think that little thing they got between their legs is going to be more powerful than the next chicks, and that whatever you couldn't get them to do, I'm going to get them to do. They suffer from the same thing. You don't understand that when Pookie wants to change, he will arrive changed. When he's ready, you ain't going to do it. He going to have to show up to you already changed. You ain't going to change him. Now, what you can do, you might just suffer enough to make him the right guy for the next female. That's That's quite possible. Happens all the time.
You can change. Now you would change
No,
him. He can change
hell no.
himself, and vice versa. She can change herself.
Right.
So I just feel like, of course, we're gonna go in with thinking, oh, he's gonna be loyal to me just because he wasn't loyal to this person. Doesn't mean he's not gonna be loyal to me. But it doesn't always, or vice versa. It doesn't really always end up like that.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's taking the time to make you feel special. So, take that time and be happy with that.
But listen, you could be with someone every single day, and it could make you feel like the baddest bitch on
Beyonce.
earth and everything. They still cheat.
Still
Cheat on your blood clot. I'm sorry.
don't do it.
Nah, like in retrospect, so it's like you just have. I'm not gonna say you have to keep a lookout, keep your guard up, but you just never know with people.
Especially if you've been
you
hurt.
don't know what they're doing when they're not with you.
Come on, we've been through so
But
much.
it's all about trust. It's all about trust.
It is all about
you never know what your person is doing currently right now. Like,
Women, why do y'all put yourself through that? Why even worry about that? So like when you hear men say that women go into these relationships, specifically black women, maybe even just the Western woman, but we talking about black women right now because that's who's on the panel. You go into these relationships in bad faith. I know a lot of no, we don't go in, but think about it. If you going in there worried about what he could be doing foul outside of the relationship, that's what you are focused on. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. Like I don't know how to. This ain't new news. This is always been this way. It's always been this way. You're going in bad faith. You're having no trust. You don't believe. So it's like, what incentive does the man have to not fuck up? He's already on the. He's already been accused. You guilty till proven innocent, and you'll never be proven innocent because they're gonna investigate you till the end of time. Till death do you fucking part.
so it's all about trust. They don't know what you're doing on this podcast right now. It's all about trust, So
Y'all go to therapy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't? Okay. Interesting.
she's trying to say I need
she's a
therapy.
normal-
It's interesting. Talk
I
about
didn't say
interesting with a
anything.
smirk.
'Cause there was 2 out of 3. I thought it was going to be
She
3
the
out of
normal
3.
one.
Everybody needs
I am
therapy.
the therapist.
No, yeah.
For my
Honestly,
friends.
I
I'm
feel
the
like a lot
therapist
of
for
people
my
need to grow up and get.
But I
get
feel
help.
like I'm
That's a
pro
good thing,
therapy.
yeah.
I feel like another thing, black men, even though I know, like I do feel like black men need therapy, and I feel like
Only
they're
black
not
men?
allowed to. Like society doesn't allow them to go to therapy because y'all supposed to be masculine and not cry and not this. So I do feel like therapy. Women go to therapy, but I feel like black men need to go to therapy more.
Isn't it like Black Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? Whatever.
Hell yeah! I don't
Shout out
know, I
to
think it
y'all
was
though.
last month, but
Shout out to y'all with
Is this
mental
month?
illness.
Yes. Shout out
Yes,
to
You know who's the main person in my life that always told me to man up and stop crying?
Probably your
your dad?
mama.
Woman.
y'all. Oh shit.
But
Why you always bringing it back to
You know
that?
why
Oh my
women did
God.
that?
No, they do that a lot, though, and it's
I feel
sad.
like it was an older women because you know what? It's not even men or women. I feel like old school people.
Yes, that.
Their mentality
The old
is like
generation.
my mom's African currently. Like if I had a brother, I don't, but she would be like, "Why is he crying?" But that's because
Literally.
they're old school mentality.
But
Even
you,
Jamaicans.
you know who keeps that trait? The daughter.
No,
No, we don't.
No, that's not
Yes,
true.
you
All
That's
general
not true.
curses end with
'Cause-
me.
Hello,
I
that's
don't
not
stop
true. Because
breaking
sometimes
that.
when you grow up with
Yeah.
trauma, you realize that you don't want your kid to grow up with
Exactly.
trauma. You're gonna do things. Yeah, you have your mother's traits, but you would do things that you did not like about your mom.
You may not
would
do that with your child, but you might put that same reaction on your man.
But-
If he's
and
coming
you
to you
might not.
complaining, you be like, "Oh man, the fuck up! Oh that nigga's always bitching."
No, that's not true. It depends on who you.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, man. Like in the way of the superior man, he says women are liars. This is one of those examples. They say they want you to be emotional, but let me tell you, they even say that you can't be too emotional. That's bullshit. Flat out bullshit. You can absolutely be too emotional. You're a man. It's okay to have emotion. It's okay to maybe cry with your girl every once. Some big shit happened, the passing of a loved one and things like this. But when life is just fucking hard like it always is, Andrew Tate says something. He said, if you the captain of the ship, right? There's a reason that the captain goes down with the ship. When he tells people to move, they move. He tells them to get man the sails, they man the sails. He's responsible because he makes the decisions. That's why you go down with the ship. You know what? I got another video made, and I'm mad I can't get it out because it got copyright claim, mainly because I used the clip from a clip of Jordan Peterson. But in there, I was explaining this crisis of masculinity that we're dealing with right now, how it's an attack on the masculine man, and that's what's really making, life so much harder. Because like these women, they have a vote of no confidence in the black man, and that's because they don't believe that we can lead them. The reason they don't believe that we can lead them is because they've been so masculine because they've had to be over these years, that they believe it's an actual belief that they don't need us. And although because we live in the civilized West, they do not need us in that archaic sense, that historic sense of you need a man, because they hundreds of years ago they didn't have bank accounts and voting rights. We're not talking about that. We're talking about right now. So right now, in the civilized West, they don't need a man. Although when your house is on fire, I guarantee you, when you call 911, you hope a man kicked that door in. If the lady team pulled up, you wouldn't be as sure, confident as you would if you saw those big strong men climbing that ladder. I'm just saying, men, it's okay for you to be masculine. Don't let these birds and let everybody in this new touchy-feely, tolerant society that we live in. Everything is what people think it is, but it's not. Masculinity, it's for us to stand up now. We got to be the ones that say, like, this if it's bullshit, it's bullshit. Overweight women, we don't have to put up with that. Fellas, you don't have to put up. That's not okay. If that's not what you like, then it's not okay for you. It's okay for it not to be okay for you. If you don't want a baby mama, that's a lot to take on. Like, I get it. There are very good women that happen to be the mothers of children. Very good quality women. But what you must understand, that even though you're a very good quality woman, just because you have a child makes you that much more difficult to deal with. You got to understand that we understand that child must come before us. We understand that many times, because you had to provide for that child, you are more put together career-wise because you have to be. And that's just something else that you're going to have to put over a man. And this is not a thing where you say, oh, men, we so soft, our egos, we can't handle a woman that's getting to it. That's not it. We want to come in and we want to be respected. We want you to be grateful. We feel love through respect. How are you showing me respect? By telling me around every chance you get how you don't need me? That's evident. You've been alive this entire time before you met me. I understand that you don't need me in that sense. I'm here to help you. I'm here to lead you if you let me. That's what black men are saying. But many times they can't, because you caught up in TV and what's not real. You caught up in from love and hip hop and rapper relationships and the people that they show you in media, because that's what's exciting. Or you get with the scammers and the influencers or whatever, and they got this fast money and they frivolous and they blow it. They not smart, man. That's all that is. And yeah, that's fun. Taking those trips and all of that shit is fun. But in old age, when you done, because you're gonna leave him for cheating on you. You're gonna leave the scammer for cheating, because that's the end all be all. So when it's all done, you all used up and you're a baby mama, you gonna want Russell Wilson then. That's not fair to that guy, man. That is not fair. Like, these women right here are in their prime right now. I think the chocolate one here on the end, I think she's in a committed relationship, but still, back in the day, they would call her situation shacking up, because she lives with her guy. She's going to explain that later. We might get into it on this part. If not, y'all can watch the video for yourselves in its entirety. But she gets into like how they shacking up. And so, but yeah, it's serious, but that's probably the closest thing to commitment is a lease. You know what I'm saying? You should be requiring more. Requiring more, women. Like, if y'all are going away from marriage, then what's this new relationship look like? I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to something that's non-traditional. Anything that get these kids raised, be civilized. You gave that man your body and your womb half the time. I need you women to act like you can co-parent. Y'all should be the best of friends. Y'all are. If anything, he about as close as your brother to you now. You have his children. That matters. And you shouldn't have had kids by a man who's unworthy. Mistakes happen. Everybody ain't going to get it right every time. We understand that. But the alarming rate that is going down, I shouldn't have to scroll on my timeline at any given time of day and see multiple women just bashing men, more specifically their baby fathers. Ma'am, you chose him. Shut up.
It depends on the person you are. If you're able to realize that men have emotions and they can be vulnerable, then why not? But if a woman says grow up, be a man, don't cry, don't talk about your emotions, then that's not the woman for you.
Then I ain't meet no. I'm be honest with you. Every woman I dated always used my emotions as weakness.
And I be trying to meet people who
and they the main one.
Don't be crying to these women unless it's your wife, because she's your real life partner, the one that you pick. Your girlfriend, she do not need to know your problem. She typically can't help. They gonna judge you or try to fix it, you know. And a lot of times, just like women, I get it. We do the same thing to y'all. Sometimes y'all are venting to us, and you don't understand, and we don't understand that you just trying to get it off your chest, and so we end up fucking it up. Well, I know I do this specifically myself, and I'm working on myself by trying to mansplain, trying to give you, you know, the right information, and a lot of times that's not what you want. You just want to vent. We understand it. Y'all gotta understand that same thing is ideal for men as well. Sometimes we just want to tell you what's going on, but we got it. We need somebody to you know, let us lay our head in their lap and stroke our dreads and stuff. Tell us it's gonna be okay. We can get up and go conquer the world after that. We just need a little bit of that femininity. We don't need that masculine shit where you try to run a play, where you try to call a play. All right, he's telling me what's going on. He needs a play. I don't need it, John Madden. Sit down. Sit tight. Relax. I don't need that. That's not what we need. We don't, black women, we don't need you to fight for us. I admire it. It's admirable that you, but that's when you typically hear black women saying that they fight, that black men don't stand up. They point to when George Floyd happened. We were in the streets. I'm not going to even get into that. Because I can go for days on that whole George Floyd situation. That shit is another Pookie and Ray Ray is situation. But what black women need to understand is that y'all need to spend more time loving us and less time trying to correct us and trying to fix us. Therapy is important. I do believe therapy is important for some. I mean, I feel like it's being overpushed because I feel like depression is being overpushed. I feel like everybody wants to say they're depressed when they just sad. Life is it's a hard thing, man. It's crazy obstacles day in and day out. You got to be perfect and damn near everything. It's so much. You can never know. The more you know you don't know shit. This thing is scary. This thing called life is scary. I get that. But we not all depressed. You might have times of depression. You might be down, death of a loved one or loss of a job, a career, of a spouse or a love interest, whatever's going on. These things can be hard. They can be difficult to get over. I understand that. Poverty, disease, your health problems. It's a litany of things that could be going wrong in your life. But a lot of times you're not depressed. Life is hard, but it's not enough for you to stop. Men, we got to be men. Like I know it's barbaric to choke down your feelings and keep on pushing, but you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself, because what's the alternative?
Someone saying, "Oh, you go be open with me." I'm not saying I was crying or nothing, but if I express something how I feel, then it's like, "Oh, you acting like a bitch." Just that and the third.
Really? There's women in this world that wish their man. There's women in this world that wish their man would be emotional and would be vulnerable and talk to them.
Sure.
No, I'm sorry. I never met her. I'm sorry you keep picking on a woman, but
so y'all all want y'all man.
And it's funny how that argument never works with them. It's funny how y'all keep picking the wrong woman, But ma'am, you don't have a man. You've had a man, but you don't have one now. What that mean? means you also have been picking the wrong one. The nerve.
To be emotional.
I love an emotional nigga. Cry with me, baby.
I love
Don't you be a fool, fellas.
I like hearing that.
someone that speaks their mind. I'm not gonna knock you. Like I like those conversations. Let's have an intellectual conversation.
I like hearing that.
Intellectual.
Let's fix
But is there a line though?
There's not a line. Like, I mean,
Like, can he be
That's
too
cap.
emotional?
no, because if I'm too emotional,
We're all
is there a line for me?
human. Like we're all human.
Like,
Cry. I'm gonna
it's
cry
not
with
fair.
you.
Like, if I'm too
So-
emotional, why am I? It's okay for me to be too emotional, but he can't be too emotional. We're all human.
No, he's a man. I'm sorry, fellas. Double standards exist. We can't keep explaining the same shit to women and not take our own preaching. Double standards exist. I'm sorry, fellas. It's gonna be hard. But nobody gives a fuck. Work harder. Nobody cares. Work harder. The answer to everything is work harder. Be the best version of yourself. I'm not telling you to compete with the man next to you, the man behind you, the man in front of you. The man in the fucking mirror. It's the only person you got to compete with. The Atomic Habit. Great book. Great book. Pick it up. It talks about compound that little 1% change every day. You might have never read a book in your life, right? But you start doing audio books and you might just read a book on the way back and forth to work. You're going to still read more books now than you ever read before. You start somewhere. The more you get in you, the smarter you get. The more you know, the more you grow. Like these things, start going to the gym today. Start off with just running. Start off with just walking if you too big. Walking on the incline. Start the fat burning process super fast. Put that thing on the incline. Don't hold on to the rails and just walk. Them calf muscles gonna burn, but you gonna burn fat right away. You just start somewhere and you just let that in, and you not. I'm not asking you to be a marathon runner on the day one. That's why I say start with walking. Start with listening to these books. Start, whatever it is that you into, somebody has already written a book on it. Get better. Get better. Keep getting better. I promise you, everything that you want is on the other side of better. Everything that you want. You having problems with the ladies, guess what? Women are a symptom of success. Bet you didn't know that. But they are success creatures. That's what they're looking for. That's what they got their eyes on. Clout, money. These things are success indicators. That's what they're looking for. All you got to do is get you some of that. You can be 5. Look at Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart 5-0. I don't know. Damn near a midget. I don't think the man ever had a problem. Well, not since he's been rich. Had problems with women. I know he was in the news a couple times, but cheating. But guess what? He still got one by his side. That's a fact. That's a fact. So the short guys is running around here talking about, I'm too short. No, you ain't too short. You just broke. Same thing for the ugly guys. Get your ass in shape and get you some money.
Human.
Sometimes it makes you come to a realization, like, damn, like this is real. Like he's dead
I
crying.
know you
Like,
that can
yeah.
cry.
So if your man come home and cry to you every day, that's cool.
Come here, baby. What's up? Let's talk about
Suck
it.
on my titty.
I don't think
You go home and cry to that woman every day. I don't care if it's your wife. She won't be around long. You listen to that bullshit if you want to. Nobody want a crybaby ass man. Crybaby ass man. Women like masculine men. Typically, they like masculine men. It would behoove you to be more masculine than feminine, fellas.
Bitch wanna cry than sex. Like, what? Hold on.
Shout
Like,
out to
he's
cry than
emotional.
sex.
That might make me feel better. Like,
I don't think nobody wants to be with somebody that's crying all day, man.
Facts, Jude.
know?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I feel like
but
I
it's not, I don't think he's being
like,
literal. Don't be like, I don't think he's being literal when he's saying a man cry all
yeah,
day.
not
But
every
like,
day,
but just like if he's an
But a
emotional
lot,
person,
yeah,
like
yeah.
somebody that's super emotional.
Yeah, that
I mean,
person needs to then, probably step out of the relationship, get control of themselves.
need some
I
time for
feel like-
themselves.
Absolutely
Too
agree with Drew.
emotional.
Hey, Drew is preaching right. That's what you need to do, fella. If you crying every day, big fella, you need to go seek help, seek God, seek whatever you need to seek. Get together. Get your ass on that yellow brick road. Go see the fucking wizard and then try again. Like I said, be a better person. Whatever's making you depressed is inside of you. You're not going to find it in no woman. So why are you even worried about that? Why are you even worried about that? You shouldn't be out here chasing ass. You should be out here trying to chase your purpose. Find it if you don't know, because a lot of us don't know that. It's okay not to know. It's okay to be 40 years old and not know, because figure it out, though. Figure it out, though. It's okay to be wrong, but don't stay wrong. That's all I'm saying. You got to figure it out. Maybe you never thought about it your whole life. A lot of people don't. It's crazy as that is. I don't believe no grown man No man over the age of 25 should have no clue what his purpose in life is, what he wants to do. When it's all said and done, what do you want to do? Focus on that. What do you want them to say? In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, they say, begin with the end in mind. At your funeral, what do you want them to say about you? What do you want them to be? What do you want them to say about you? Besides the lies about how you died and went to heaven and that you was this great person, all of the bullshit, but the tangible shit, the legacy you left behind. What do you want them to say? You don't want them doing a GoFundMe for you. You don't want to put that burden on your people. So you got to work hard today. And that's what you should be focused on, not on women. Because if you crying every day, bucko, you got a lot of work, self-healing to do. A woman typically can't. Now, there are women that have been muses for men. I understand that too, but you just got to understand that that's like trying to win the lottery. That's just not realistic. That's an outlier situation, fella. What you need to do is go become a person that you can be proud of. Once you become that person that you can be proud of, approaching women, keeping women, attracting women, all of that's easy. All of that's easy.
Too emotional, that's because they're still dealing with childhood trauma.
And they need therapy.
And that all matters. Like how you was raised, it really matters. Like for most of my friends, we grew up with older Caribbean parents, and it's trauma. Like they didn't have the resources that we have today.
Hell yeah.
Like if I was to tell
My mom don't think we back then.
Yeah.
When I was young, that's when my mom was depressed. She was just like, "Why you have a roof over your head?" Like that's not depression.
They think that depression and anxiety and
That's
all
such
of
a
things.
Caribbean answer.
What are you mad for?
Like
They
have food right here. Like girl, I'm tired.
Yeah,
Right.
they
That's why I'm
don't
depressed.
recognize, trauma, anxiety, depression. These things are real. Everybody can go through it. So
Hell yeah. And I feel like in the African household, when you're when you're going through something, it's no depression, it's no sickness to it. It's either voodoo or you're crazy.
Or you need to pray to God. That's it. Go to church.
Like,
Come back to the church.
So where I have a family member that's schizophrenic and they think she's crazy and she a witch, but really
She's a demon.
But they think she's evil, but she's really schizophrenic because if she was white, it would be like the doctor, told her that she has schizophrenia, but in
They don't believe in doctors and diagnosis.
They don't
like, stay away from her. She
Everything
crazy.
got to be natural, and if something wrong with you, something just wrong.
And they don't believe in doctors and actual diagnosis. Like I have a family member that was diagnosed with bipolar, and she's like, "You don't know what he's talking about, girl. You need medication." Like,
All right, let me get into this next topic real quick. So before we get into this topic, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I be telling y'all.
period.
Instagram, YouTube, they be hating.
Yeah, like
But we
it.
need y'all
Hit
support. And if y'all not
hit my
subscribed
like
already,
button too,
make
though.
sure y'all subscribe.
What are you doing?
And tell a
We
friend.
got, we got episodes, we got new content, like we got everything going on, man. So
Word.
get into this next topic. This question says, hookup culture only exists because of women.
I actually
I'm
hated
about
that
to get
question.
angry.
I hated that question.
Why?
Can you
What
repeat that
made you say-
question? Wait,
yeah,
can you
repeat
repeat that
it.
question one more time for
I
the
can't
people in the
hear you.
back?
It's actually not
Can
a
you
question,
repeat
it's a
it?
statement. But
Oh, okay. What was the statement?
What?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Hookup culture only exists because of women.
That's a statement. You don't think that's like an opinion?
What you
It's a
thinking
It's
of?
a statement. Yeah.
opinion is a statement.
Okay,
Ooh, I'm scared.
you're right. But like, why? What made you say like because of women?
No,
you guys said it.
We just got a statement.
okay.
Where'd you guys get the statement from?
There's a video.
Just out of curiosity. No.
There's a video. I think I have it actually. Maybe I guess we can watch it
yeah.
after. But yeah, so
Y'all should have put a question mark at the end of that.
Yeah, because I feel like
So
if it's
does
a thing
I felt
that's
attacked.
cheating-
does hookup culture exist because of women?
I don't.
No,
believe
I
so.
don't believe so.
And why don't y'all believe that?
I mean, I want to hear what you have to say. Do you believe so?
Well, you're asking the question.
I believe so. I believe so. You know why I believe so? Because women fuck who they want. Men fuck who they can. Y'all remember that, ladies? That's y'all favorite line, correct? It's true. It's a fact. That's why y'all love to say it. So with that being said, the reason that hookup culture exists is because women subscribe to it. Men, we've been trying to get hookup culture. Probably since the beginning of time, men have been trying to just be able to have all of this free casual sex that's going on right now. But the issue with that is women complaining about now the consequences of said culture. So my thing is, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You understand? It's like it's physically impossible. You can't have it and stuff it in your fucking mouth at the same time. That's the issue. You want to be able to do whole shit, but not be labeled as a whore. Ma'am, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Jesus Christ. So of course, this new hookup culture it exists because of women. Because you ladies, you subscribe to it. Men are opportunists when it comes to sex. And if you tell me I can get the milk for free, why would I buy the cow? Y'all are having babies. Y'all are having babies. Do you understand what I'm saying? The highest honor you can give any man, you give to randoms. What a time to be alive. I used to have to give up the life. You had to get married. You had to settle down. You had to say she was going to be the only one. You had to commit just for a relationship, much less a child, building a family. But now I can get 6, 7 females, you know what I mean? All that had a baby, and I ain't got to stay with none of them. I can show up on the weekend and be the cool dad. And I ain't got to worry about this one woman bitching and moaning because I can go home. Soon as she start talking shit, all right, kids, that'll see you next weekend. That's not a bad deal, man. You get the legacy, and you ain't got to worry about it. You can sleep good at night in the bed by your damn self, or with whoever the fuck you want. That's what y'all subscribe to. That's the deal that men have now. They can go and do whatever in the hell they want because you guys subscribe to it because you want to be sexually liberated. All I'm asking is that if we gonna save this thing, women, y'all gonna have to have a little discipline. I'm sorry. You're going to have a little discipline. Put some ice on that cat and relax. Make these men actually earn it. And see, this is the thing. It's hard for a man to earn it when he know you 30 bodies in. Like, y'all can't go back in time and take them bodies back, but you can calm down. Relax.
No, he said we can ask.
Yeah, but we started with and you guys have Caribbean parents, right?
Yeah.
You understand you can't answer a
a
question.
question.
All right, come on.
I feel like hookup culture. Wait, I don't know.
I don't feel like it's because of. All right. I feel like it didn't start because of women, but I feel like we're getting into an era where women are just getting. Yeah.
It's okay for women to have one night stands and not be
Okay,
judged.
Right.
Like, I feel like back then growing up, like, you know, let's be honest. Let's really talk the truth. Growing up, if a man had sex with multiple women,
He was that
bro,
nigga.
Yeah. But if a girl had sex with multiple,
She's
was
a whore.
Tomato, we're throwing tomatoes.
Who was saying he that nigga? The women was saying he that nigga.
No, his bros, the women too.
No,
Women,
yeah.
men,
too, and
everybody.
men. Yeah.
Everybody was,
Okay.
he was that nigga.
She not wrong. Matter of fact, it's still like that today. Because like we said, men have sex with who they can. So a man that can have sex with multiple women means that he's been chosen by multiple women. That is a feat. That is an accolade. Especially depending on the quality of the woman. Like if he's knocking down a bunch of Keishas and Dusty Divas and shit, then you know that don't much matter for shit. But hey, we still gonna rate that because they, you know what I'm saying? It's the numbers. It's a numbers game. I'm sorry, it's just how it is with men. I don't get why we don't understand that there are double standards. There are things that you can do that I absolutely can't do. You literally have rights that men don't have in America. There's no right that men have that women don't have, but there are rights that women have that men don't have. It's a fact. Especially when we start talking about going into family courts. You go in as a man, you going in with a significant disadvantage. Everybody knows that. Double standards exist. Men notoriously have to deal with ours. Women historically try to hide from theirs. It seemed like a bunch of pointing fingers back and forth on whose fault it is. It's always women saying, why do men trying to blame women? We're not trying to blame women. Understand, I don't gain anything by telling you to stop fucking, but a future for my daughter. That's what I have to gain. Because how am I going to tell my daughter, who's 3 years old right now, when she come of age, that busting it wide open in front of her cell phone for OnlyFans is not a profitable thing to do? If y'all are all out here saying we tolerate it all. Be a whore. You got slut walks and all of this other craziness. what am I for the dads, women? Since y'all know it all, y'all sexually liberated. Help me out for the dads out here. What do we tell our daughters that if we don't want them to be whores? What am I supposed to tell her? If I don't want my daughter to be a whore, to be dragging that wop across the floor, you know what I'm saying? Out here F and F. If I don't want that for her, if I want another option, how do I stop it? Y'all are the examples. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm praying that y'all fall on y'all face and y'all suffer so bad that she gets to see you suffer in 4K and it scared the shit out of her. That's what I'm praying for. It happened with us. You gotta understand, like, our parents was broke as hell, and so because of that, we went out of our way. We more fiscally responsible because of this, because we was like, fuck, I'm not gonna be broke. So maybe that'll work. Maybe it'll work that way, because you know all of this shit just go in a circle anyway. Maybe it'll work that way and by the time she get over there, she get of age, she done seen that all of the BBL warriors, all of the wall warriors suffering with all of those kids. And maybe she'll think, oh, I'll do anything to not be that. Maybe. We just need y'all to suffer in 4K. So either you can close your legs or crash and burn so badly that you save our babies. Which one?
Whether it was a woman or a man, he was that nigga. But if a woman did it, women and men were saying she's a hoe. Like, nah, she is
a hoe.
Right.
Her,
Yeah. She ran through all of that.
So it's kind of
All
like
that ran through. Yes.
I don't
Double
believe that.
standard.
It's double standard, and I feel like
Y'all want me with sexual experience, right? Like he
Come
can't not know these.
Yeah, but if
bad,
you
right?
dragging it, my nigga.
Hold on, because you can be with somebody.
plan.
I feel like regardless if he has experience or not, a nigga has to learn your body. He has to learn what you like and stuff like that. So regardless if he has a lot of experience, you don't know what I like.
Niggas be thinking they know everything.
Yeah. But see, this is another issue that I know from having female friends. I know this shit for a fact. The problem that y'all having with Chad and Tyrone is Chad, Tyrone, Pookie, and Ray Ray. The reason you having all this bad sex with these guys that are fucking all these girls, you kind of trying to realize, like, how could he have so much sex and still be so bad at it? He don't like them girls. I hear it all the time. Girls like, all he do is bend me on from the back and give me 3 minutes. He don't like you. He don't like you. You're a nut. That's hardly even sex. He's for damn sure not making no type of love with you or giving a fuck about your orgasm or you coming or you feeling good even. He gonna get behind you. He gonna power drive you for a good 5 minutes. He gonna get up out of there. He gonna wet your back and bounce. That's because he don't like you. And the fact that you having that much sex just mean that you are that easy. If you are getting the Pound Town 5-minute flex all the time, these dudes do not like you. They do not like you, or they got erectile dysfunction, one of the two, but either one is not good for you. It's not good for you. If you deal, and this is for both, this is for men as well, because we are notorious for doing this shit too. This is why we get cheated on, get our hearts broken and turn into supervillains. Deal with people who like you. It could all be so simple. Just deal with people who like you.
By themselves and think we gonna like it automatically.
It depends on who you are.
It all depends. Yeah,
Just
like
because you fuck 30 people and some
you
guy
could be
fucked only
trash.
one
Don't mean
person,
you're gonna fuck me and
don't
it's
mean
gonna
you're
be
gonna
good.
fuck me better than the person that fucked one person. Sorry.
That's
my
a
bad.
fact, because he
Say that
might
one
actually
more
care.
I said just because a guy had sex with like 30 women doesn't mean that he's gonna do better with me than a person that had sex with one person. Like, you just never know.
But his chances are higher if he got experience.
I mean, he's more experienced.
I don't believe that because I think his chances is higher if he cares. Women, y'all know that it's more than just the physical with y'all. It's a mental connection. It's all of that shit. And you're not going to connect better with a man who actually cares. He cares about how you feel, how the experience is for you. Pookie, Ray Ray, Chad, and Tyrone don't give a fuck about how it feel to you. They don't give a fuck about it. And the fact is, y'all are having way too much sex with these niggas. That's just the fact of the matter. You having way too much sex. These men have too much access to you. They shouldn't have access to you at all. That's all I'm saying. Vet these guys properly. One girl earlier on Facebook, she said if we was waiting around vetting all of these dudes properly, that they coochie would dry up. and freeze over with dust. It dry because it's that hard to vet a man. I got a question though. Is that such a bad thing? Y'all got all type of electronics and buzzworthy vibrations and all of this other shit to put on that thing down there anyway, right? Y'all got roses and wands and all types of shit anyway. Is it really that important? What you like? Why just run them bodies up with dudes who won't be around? Why do that to yourself? Why give that man access? Give him that power over you, because that's what that is. That's power over you. All the women that claim that they have a problem with submission, but they are fucking super uber promiscuous, you submit more than any other woman. You lay on your back and you open up the kingdom to multiple men, to men over and over and over and over and over again. You submit to every one of the men. Every one of the men you submit to, purely and utterly. You give them your everything, especially if it's raw. Especially if it's raw, you open yourself up to not just his energy, but to disease, to all of that bullshit. You purely and utterly submit to that man. You don't have no problem with submission. You got a problem with common sense.
He's more now.
I'm just saying, I feel like his chances are higher.
You know
I'm not
what I would say?
It's definite.
I would say he's more experienced with women, but just because he's more experienced with women doesn't mean he's more experienced with me.
That's a fact.
But think about it.
Everybody's different.
But think about it.
People like
if I'm a virgin coming into a relationship with you, let's say, right? I have no idea what I'm doing. You really have to teach me what I'm doing.
I'm gonna teach you,
but
Daddy.
If I had, that's cool. But if I had experience now, I come in. I'm trying. I'm blowing your back out. I'm trying different things that I learned along the way. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna work.
I think that's why people always like when a woman or a man is a virgin, they get scared to have sex with them because it's like, you know,
I
already
like virgins,
been through
whatever.
At your grown age,
yeah. What you mean?
You still have.
I didn't have one in the little.
Oh, okay, you scaring me.
He had to explain himself on that. She said, "You like virgins, nigga? You like 28."
I'm saying if that was the case with a woman of age, you know what I mean?
Age, okay.
that would be precious.
But right, so you said you wouldn't mind having sex with a virgin, okay? But she doesn't do anything minus the women that had sex with multiple guys.
Look. There's some truth to what both of them saying. I'm gonna tell you this: women, the quickest way, especially with a black woman, get your ass is have some whack eggplant. That's the quickest way. That's how they shame you. You getting that first. You getting that first. One of their top 3 insults is who hurt you, you gay, or your dick is little. You broke is implied. It's just implied all the time. At all times you broke, obviously, they're going to hit you with that one.
Guys, and she knows how to work a dick. You know what I mean? So
she knows how to work a dick. And that's nothing. No man is proud that, oh, my baby is a dick eater. Unless he taught her those tricks, let me tell you, there's no man proud of those moves, man. He might enjoy them, but it's heartbreaking to think about how you learned them. I don't know why y'all think that a man just wants you to be, there are men, but the men that want you to be that event, that's because that's what they want you for. How don't you understand that? If he don't mind that you are jumping off the dresser and shit, like you Ed Hardy in the WWE, that's because that's what he wants to experience with you. And I'm telling you, there's not much more he wants to experience with you if he's enjoying it that much. Now, there's some Pookies and Ray Rays that are stupid enough to try to wife you, but that's just typically not the case, because even Pookie and Ray Ray is smart enough to know that you don't wife hoes. Universal information.
I think it's different.
Work that pussy.
It's different. It's different from men
that.
and women. Like, men value women with a low body count.
That's
Why is that?
why
You see how loud they got? 30 bodies or more plus. All of them. All 3 of them got over 30 bodies apiece. These are serial killers, fellas. I'm talking about bodies in the walls. Look how
Why are women, some women, so infatuated with wanting to be like men? Y'all always say men can do this, men can do that.
Penis envy.
No,
it's not wanting to be like that. We're infatuated. We're infatuated of being equal. Like we.
Y'all really don't want to be equal.
They want to be superior. That's a far different thing. They don't want to be equals. They want to be equal. They pay for first dates. They pay half on the bills. If they want to be equal, then they get drafted to wars. If they wanted to be equal, it's a lot of things, right? If they wanted to be equal, they wouldn't just get the children 100%, 90-something% of the time in court battles. If they wanted to be equal, if it was supposed to be equal, if it was apples to apples, they fold under the pressure. That's just a fact. But nobody's asking you to. We just ask you to understand that there's a reason why you need men. There's a reason why we need women.
Why y'all want to go 50-50 on the bills?
I mean, we can go 50-50 on the bill. Let me say this. If I asked a man on a date, as a woman, if I asked a man on a date, I would pay for the date. But it's not as common. It's not.
My daddy raised me where ain't no woman paying for my meal. I'm sorry. That's just a part. That's just how I was raised. Now, I get it, fellas, but this shit is for you. It's for you more than it is for them. Look, it's like we all risking something, fellas, right? Before she opens up to you and she submits to you with sex, she's risking that you might be a Tom. I mean, you might be a Chad or a Tyrone or a Pookie or a Ray Ray. She's risking that if she hasn't properly vet you. When you go on a date, it's your job to properly vet them. If not, and in the vetting process, let me tell you, it costs money. Just like when you do a background investigation, it ain't for free. Some of them cost thousands of dollars to run this background investigation. So what the fuck make you think vetting this woman is going to be free? Who gives a fuck that it costs you a $200 dinner or some shit like that? That's the price to play. Or you can get a cheaper girl. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you how to play it, but you need to understand that this going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you some money. You're going to have to risk your funds. That's the game. That's the game. So there's no way around that. The same way there's going to be risk involved. Yes, some of these chicks are going to make a foodie call out of you, fellas. If you shoot enough shots, you're going to be some chick's foodie call. She going to call you out and she going to finesse you out of a meal. Who cares? It's a part of the fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's why y'all feel like, oh, it's not 50-50,
but how often do you ask a man on a date?
I'm in a relationship, so I mean, it's not. I say, baby, let's go out, and I would pay the bill if I want to. Like
that's your boyfriend, though. But before that,
but it's social media, though.
If it's even before that, if a man asks me on a date, that means he's going out his way to ask me, then he has to pay for the date. If I'm all for women shooting their shots.
All right. Well, you're in a relationship, so if you and your man have a place. How y'all splitting the finance?
Oh, it just depends. Like, baby, you want to take this or you want to go half-half? If he says I got it, then I'm like, okay, we could get something else and I'll pay for that. Like, let's say we're going to the movies, either I pay for the ticket, he pays for the food, or vice versa.
Yo, those are all like middle school like shit. Like that's little shit. Like
but I mean, okay, so
I'm talking about.
All right, let's be honest. I live with my Let's talk about it. I currently live with my significant other. Right, he pays the rent. But I pay for everything else, like groceries, furniture, like Wi-Fi, optimum bills. But if there was something that was serious, like, okay, baby, like, I really want this dining table. It's mad expensive. We will go half-half. Vacation-wise, half-half. But he does pay for the rent. That's what I will say. He does pay for the rent, which I feel like the rent will be more than groceries. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, also it's like it is.
Okay.
Currently, living in New York. I live in Harlem, so the rent is more than groceries. But I also do feel like he has a better job than me, so it's also like
which is also understandable.
He's up here, and I'm kind of like in the middle, like you know.
But I think that's 50-50.
Well,
that's 50-50 because I'm paying for the groceries.
It's not an exact amount.
He's like, babe, milk is not in the fridge. I go to get the milk. Like I'm not asking no questions.
50 is a ratio. It would mean you paying half, and that's not half.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we hear from some women, especially on this show. I'm gonna play the compilation clip.
All right, don't come for women on this show. Just say in general.
Some women,
protect black women.
He didn't say all women. He said some women.
Okay.
And the women we experience on our show. That's facts.
They will come on this show, right, and always talk about how a man has to pay the bills. He's not a real man. Some women always love to say, "What's a real man?" You know what I mean?
I believe a real man should pay the majority of the bills, if not all of them. To be honest, if you can, why not? If you can, why not? Now I understand that in America today, that sometimes you need that double income, and that's fair too. That's why it's different strokes for different folks. You got to do what works for you. So like you meet somebody, like for us to try to fit everybody, it's not one size fits all. You meet somebody, you feeling them, and it might be a 50-50 relationship because they're not where they need to be or where they want to be right now. They got potential to go further. I understand that. Y'all got to get together and y'all both got to suck it up until he can get, or you can get, or we can get to where we need to get. But you need to focus more on the relationship, on the success of the relationship than outside entities prying in. You got to understand that your man, you love him and you have faith in him. Your friends may not. That's why your business got to be your business. Your friends not going to give you the best information because you got to understand a lot of times, many times, typically your friends haven't been where you're trying to go. They trying to get to them damn selves. And they going to then project their own bad habits, and I only call them bad because typically they haven't, like I said, haven't been there yet, right? So they've been just failing as much as you, and why take they invite? You got you got one life is yours. At the end of the day, you got to be the CEO. You got to make the proper decision.
I mean,
but you saying a man, but he pays the bills, so I mean,
he has to. Ooh. There's no compromise.
All right, let's talk about
money.
It.
I never heard my money is my money. My money is my money is his money, and his money is my money. You never heard women say that?
It's always been that way.
Okay, I really feel like social media plays a big part in that because there's niggas that will stunt on social media, you know, chain this card.
I'm sick of social media taking the blame for all of this shit too. Social media is a tool. Nobody told y'all to use that shit to shoot yourself in the face. Nobody told you to do that. Nobody told you to live this fake life. Oh, Facebook, Instagram, social media, it's fake. What's fake about it? It's only fake because you're on there lying. That's the only thing fake. Only thing fake is the lies you tell on there. Because everybody, for them to be so depressed, y'all got quite the highlight reel on IG. Depressed in the Maldives. Depressed just all over just all over these white sand beaches and just depressed with your BBLs, right? That BBL that you didn't get for men, you got for yourself. So you mean to tell me the thing you got for you made you depressed?
This and that, and women already come into it like, oh yeah, I want a nigga that's gonna take care of me, right? But I can't speak for other than me. I grew up independent. I do everything for myself. I pay my own car note. I pay my own rent. I have my own job. So it's like,
you sound like an adult.
I am an adult.
I was finna say, congratulations, you're an adult. You all grew up now. Check you out.
Shut up. Yeah, don't play.
Women are like, not all, but like, why do they feel the need to run that down? Why do they feel the need to let me know that you got all the things a normal adult should have? I mean, you have that as opposed to what? Living at home with your mama? Ma'am, you don't care. You don't care that you're an adult. That doesn't help me. I mean, it's a shame that y'all are so used to begging that y'all think having y'all own make a difference to anybody.
That's sarcastic. But there's girls that's not like that. They feel like they have to be catered to. Like they have to, a man has to do everything for him. But the way I grew up, like in the way that I am, I do everything for myself. So I don't come into a relationship feeling like a man has to pay everything for me. He has to do everything. If you want to do it, that's amazing. But I got me because I've been doing this. So it's like I'll pay everything. We could go half. We could do whatever you want to do. Like
with you being so used.
Let's be for real, ladies. If you're in a relationship and you got to pay anything and you got to pay everything, pay your own shit. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? What's the purpose of being in a relationship if that man isn't offering you nothing but penis that you say you want, you don't need? What's the purpose? Like, why are you laying down with a man and submitting purely and utterly? Even if you don't cook or you don't clean, you still hanging off the side of the bed with balls hanging out of you. You're still submitting. Your womb, your life force, the thing that make you, the most, that would make women so beautiful and so great and so magical. You're giving that up. Like, and these young girls are like, I don't have the energy for these young girls because imagine they body counts when they get in their 30s and they got kids and they not gonna stop fucking because after they had those kids and Pookie leave their ass, they gonna be searching for love after that. And all of these dudes, because they still fairly attractive young girls. They still fairly attractive young girls, so men are still gonna want to sleep with them. They still gonna get them some of the A game. They still gonna court them like they gonna keep them, but they gonna fuck them. They gonna pump them and dump them. They gonna pump them and dump them. And it's because they not gonna vet the men properly. They gonna get tricked because he might go spend $400-$500 on the first day because guess what? He got it. Like, realer words never been spoken. It ain't tricking if you got it. That is, like, a lot of guys don't believe in that. But look, this is the thing. What you think these men make that money for? What do you think they make all that money for? What's the purpose of it if I can't use it to my advantage? That's what they make it for. That little, if he spent $500, he had it to spend, man. He don't care. He don't care. But you should, in the process of vetting him, I'm not saying shit test, man, because I'm not in the business of shit testing anybody. I don't believe you should shit test a woman, and that's when you just do bullshit to test to see how strong the relationship is. Don't do no shit like that. But what I'm saying is, you got to get some actual. This lady, the same way y'all tell men to be so honest up front, be honest up front with him. Let him know that this thing ain't gonna get sexual unless A, B, and C happen. Let him know that that's what it requires. Like you real cool, I want to hang, but this shit ain't getting sexual until then. And guess what? He might jump ship right away. That's cool. He did you a favor. He graded himself out. That's the best thing that could happen. That's the best thing. He didn't qualify, and he graded himself out. I bet you wish your baby daddy graded himself out. I bet you wish he did.
Used to doing everything on your own, do you think it's hard for you to make compromises in relationships?
No, what do you mean by that?
Like what? Like compromise? Sorry.
You know, like some people that's so used to doing shit by themselves and for themselves, it's hard for them to be team players.
Relationship.
To be, I mean, I feel like
when you,
I could work through it, but I need a more solid example.
Are you currently in a relationship?
No, I'm single.
When you decide to be in a relationship with someone, you just automatically know that you're gonna have a compromise. Like the talking phase is when you realize, okay, do I see him in my future? Will I compromise with him? So I feel like once you're already in that relationship, you already know you should compromise. You always got to think of your significant other.
That's definitely true.
I never thought of it that because I'm not.
How long you been in a relationship?
About like 2.5 years.
Period.
Well, nigga, you better keep her, bro.
Yeah. I need my nails done.
Yeah, you heard that?
It could be much worse out here. I promise you that.
She said if you like it, you should have put a ring on it.
Yo,
I'm dead. Speaking of marriage, go ahead.
What you gonna say about marriage?
No, I was just saying. Speaking of marriage, how do you guys feel about marriage? Like in general,
I like this one.
How do you guys feel?
I'm a big component on marriage, especially in the black community.
Because I feel like
nobody's getting married anymore.
I feel like in there's a lot of I feel like how do you guys?
Yeah, I'm all for marriage as well, but I also understand why men are going away from it. It's actually in the West, and it's a bad deal. Straight up, it's a bad deal. If you're gonna get into a marriage, you're not gonna protect your assets, man. Or even if you don't have assets starting off, it's many times it's a bad deal. And the reason that many times it's a bad deal is because at an alarming rate, far more than our grandparents and the people that came to generations before us, we will quit. More specifically, women will quit, and it will cost you half your shit. They'll quit for the most frivolous reasons. It doesn't matter what you've done. This is a what have you done for me lately type of society that we live in. And because of that, everything that you worked for is at risk through marriage. Because especially if you black, the typical black marriage lasts 5 years. 5 years. In 5 years, you could lose your life's work. Explain to me how love and happiness, fleeting feelings that change every day, that change with the time. People that you love today, you loved yesterday, you hate today. But you gonna risk forever off of those two things. Fellas, I'm going to tell you this. You got to find you a woman that's committed to the relationship. Ladies, the same thing. You got to find you a man that's committed to the relationship. That's committed to building with you. That's committed to your dream, your goal of legacy. That's what you need. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and stop them right here. Let me go ahead and get that off of my screen. Yeah, we're going to stop them. We're going to stop that right there. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can go check that video out on your own. But yeah, another episode of Birds Behaving Poorly. I mean, the dark skin wasn't too bad, but they young. My young brothers, I don't know how y'all have energy to deal with them young women out there because it's too much. The propaganda is too strong. The propaganda is just too strong today. But fellas, be vigilant. I'm going to tell you this. You got to vet these women the same way these women need to vet you. Fellas, if you're having a problem with ladies, the goal isn't necessarily, the answer isn't necessarily to grab your passport and run overseas. Do some work right here first. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I know personally, matter of fact, a guy I'm going to bring on who did the work, who's a high value man in every sense of the word. And he can't seem to get the black woman to participate, to cooperate with him either. So that's why there's going to be thousands of guys, hundreds of millions of guys that's going to be on the edge of their seat talking about it don't matter what I do. They won't act right. I'm going to tell you, it's deeper than that. I guarantee you there's some work that could be done, that should be done, that will get you closer there. Look, Pookie and Ray Ray got that edge. Chad and Tyrone, they got that edge. That's how they get. Maybe you got to develop your own edge. But at the end of the day, you guys, y'all got to understand, man, these women, they want what they want, and they are not wrong. Just don't listen to them. When they giving a list of what they want, that's a wish list, fellas. They know that they typically won't get that. A lot of them even know they don't deserve it. But they live in today's society says for women to overinflate. It's okay for them to overinflate they self-worth. Men, they call that fronting and capping. If you faking like you got more money than you really got, you just front. But that's what they're doing. They're not faking about their money. But they faking just about everything else. So, fellas, you got to vet these ladies, man. Men and ladies, you got to vet these fellas. We got to find a way to coexist better. I'm telling you, I do believe, even though I said all of those bad things about marriage, I still believe it is the answer for the black community. If the marriage rate goes up, we talking about households that got mama and daddy in it. That can't hurt. We talking about potentially a 2-income home. That can't hurt. You got to understand, women, y'all don't need to be going through this shit alone. I get it. You don't want to cut that grass, ma'am. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be responsible for the mortgage. Tell the truth. Yeah, you can pay it. We know you can do it, but do you want to do it? All you got to do is love a man and actually care. Vet the man, vet the man's mission. You understand that there is so much power in the fact that you get to choose. You get to choose. Men would love to start lives with the women of their choosing. It's a double standard. That's not the life that we live. Well, you can go and I get it. But typically y'all still choose at the end of the day, no matter who he is, even if he's highly sought after, that woman at the end of the day is going to have to choose him. It's going to have to accept his proposal. So I ain't going to beat a dead horse. I think we about at an hour anyway. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and get out of here. But before you do, if you haven't already and you done stayed this long, come on, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. You ain't got to comment. If I'm doing something wrong, that's another thing. Hey, if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I will be in the comment section. Matter of fact, if you really got a good argument, I'll even bring you up on the show. I'm gonna start the call in, but it's not gonna be the traditional call in like everybody else is starting off. I'm gonna already have my guests already lined up, and we just gonna go straight into it. But until next time, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on your way out the door. I don't feel like I say that enough. It's been good.